It's Linda Cobb, and you're talking dirty with the Queen of Clean. Do you have dirt, stink, mess, cleaning frustration? Do you dread cleaning? If so, boy, are you in the right place. Cleaning may never be your personal joy, but I can show you how to clean smarter, not harder, and get out of the house faster. So let's jump right in and get started. It's Linda Cobb, and you are talking dirty with the Queen of Clean. On today's show, we are going to talk Thanksgiving Day cleanup. And oh boy, can there be some messes on Thanksgiving. So we're going to talk about making it easy, making cleanup quick, and saving you from those nasty spots, spills, and stains. Now, before we get started, I want to remind you that you can go to queenofclean.com for pretty much anything Queen of Clean. We have links to all of my social media accounts, my Queen of Clean private insiders group, to my YouTube channel. You name it, it's there. So check out queenofclean.com. Now, let's get started with our Thanksgiving cleanup. You know, one of the things I get asked about most at the holidays is candle wax spills, particularly on hard surfaces like tables. And you know what? It's really easy to remove it if you know how. So what we're going to do on a hard surface with candle wax on it is take a blow dryer, turn it on high, and direct the heat at the edge of the wax. Then, using a dull, straight edge, you will simply pop it up. And generally, it will come off in one piece. So again, take the blow dryer on high, direct the heat at the edge of the wax, and using a dull, straight edge, simply pop it up. Now, if you have any remaining residue, there are some candle wax removal products that are great. The one I keep on hand is by Simonize, and I will put a link to that in today's show comments for you. Now, another thing I want to mention to you is that a great candle accessory kit is something that you really want to have. In that kit, you'll find a wick trimmer. By trimming the wick and keeping it short, you won't have that smoking that you normally get. And you'll also have a candle wax dipper. And what you're going to do is, when you're done burning the candle, use the dipper to dip the wick down into the liquid wax and back up again. That way, when you light the candle, there'll be no smoking. And if you're giving candles for a gift for Christmas, think about getting the accessory kit with it. It's a great gift. Now, I also will put a link to that for you in today's show comments. Now, let's talk about a burning, smoking oven. You know, at the holidays, that frequently happens. That apple pie is smelling great until it starts to bubble over into the bottom of the oven. What should you do? It stinks and it's smoking. So easy, guys. You're simply going to open the oven and sprinkle on a heavy layer of table salt covering the spill. That smoking and smell will stop immediately and keep right on cooking, and forget about the problem until the next day. When the oven is cool, you can take a spatula and quite easily lift off that offending stain. This is one of my best tips for the holidays, believe me. Now, let's also talk about burned food in casseroles and pans, because you know that happens. You got that green bean casserole, maybe you've got your stuffing in a separate dish, and it burns in there, or it's stuck on. An easy way to get rid of that is fill your casserole or your pan with hot water and drop in 1 or 2 fabric softener sheets. Now, they can even be ones that you've already used. Let the dish sit overnight or for at least a few hours. Then dump out the water and the mess and wipe with the softener sheet and then wash. It's so simple to get that out. I also want to mention what to do for grease on carpet, because that can be something like gravy that somebody accidentally missed their place and it fell on your carpet. Sprinkle it immediately with cornstarch or baking soda. It will absorb the grease and draw it away from the carpet, which is what you want. Do not attempt to wipe things like gravy up, or you're going to spread the stain. Instead, allow the grease or gravy to absorb into the powder. Next, vacuum well when dry, using only the hose attachment to concentrate that suction. Then clean with your favorite carpet spotter. I like Spot Shot Carpet Stain Remover. If you have a large, deep spill, you might want to use a steam cleaner that you can rent, buy, or borrow to clean that up. But always remember, when you have a spill like that on carpet, sprinkle on cornstarch. It will do no harm and it will absorb that stain. One thing I am asked about a lot at the holidays too is table linens. Those are things like tablecloths that you don't pull out too many times of the year. And then you wonder why you did and how to get the stains out of them that are there now and how to keep more stains from arriving. So you can stain proof your tablecloth. When you're going to use it, spray your tablecloth with fabric protector, one like Scotchgard makes. Spray it prior to using it, and it will repel the spots and the spills. Now, one word of warning, do not spray the cloth while on a wooden, unprotected table. But this works great. Spots and stains will wash away. Now, here's an SOS for you. You've got a real spill, something that happened at the table. You don't know what to do about it? I'm going to tell you. It's a way to make everybody feel better, including the person who had the spill. For beverage or wet spills at the table, reach for the salt shaker and shake some salt over the offending spill. You need to make a little mountain of salt over the stain. It will absorb that spill and help prevent staining. And everybody at the table is going to feel better. Shave cream is a great spotter for all kinds of stains. After all, you know what shave cream is? It's simply whipped soap. So if you don't have another spotter, feel free to use the shave cream. Lipstick on cloth napkins is something everybody wants to know about. One thing you can do is use milk to remove lipstick stains from cloth napkins. Soak for about 30 minutes, then rinse in hot soapy water and then wash as usual. You can also rub gently with denatured alcohol and then work in some liquid dish soap and launder as usual. If you're serving red wine, you want to make sure you have a spotter on hand for that. And the one that I love is Wine Away Red Wine Stain Remover. You can use it on red wine spills and it will take those out immediately. You can actually watch it happen. You can use it on carpet, on table linens, on clothes, on just about anything. And I'm telling you, it is a miracle worker for red wine. Now, here's a quick wrinkle remover for you too. If your tablecloth is clean but wrinkled, just toss it in the dryer on an appropriate heat setting and add a damp light-colored towel. Allow it to spin for 5 to 10 minutes and then put it right on the table. It'll be wrinkle-free, and you can do this with cloth napkins too. If you're using a fine wood table, don't forget to protect it with pads or even a plastic tablecloth. That way, heat marks won't appear on your table after dinner, and you won't have watermarks on there either. Now, let's talk about silver tips, because lots of times at this time of the year, people take out their silverware. Now, this is the good silver that your mom or your grandma gave to you. And you don't use it a lot, but when you do, you look in and there it is, tarnished. So how can you clean that up really fast and use it? After you use the silver, prior to washing it, rub it with salt and it will help to remove silverware tarnish as you wash it. Handling polished silver in your hands can cause tarnish to form. Handle it with a clean, dry cloth. And an easy clean for silver. And this is just so easy and great because you don't have to do anything but mix up the formula. You're going to mix 5 ounces of non-fat dry milk. Now, non-fat dry milk is the stuff you buy in a box. It's dry. And you add water to it to turn it into milk. I never particularly found it very tasty, but I have found it to be great at removing stainless, sterling, and any kind of tarnish. You're going to mix 5 ounces of non-fat dry milk, 1 tablespoon of white vinegar, and 12 ounces of water. You will let the silver stand overnight in the solution and then rinse, clean, and dry well the next day. Now remember, this is for real silver. To store it so that you don't get tarnish, put a piece of white chalk in with the silver. It will absorb the moisture and it prevents tarnishing. And never wash your silver and your stainless together. It will cause pits in your silverware. And for a really quick fix, use baking soda on a damp cloth to remove small amounts of tarnish quickly. And your white non-gel toothpaste will also work well for that. Now, here's a couple more holiday quick tips for you. First of all, when you start decorating, which a lot of us do right after Thanksgiving, if you're going to use spray snow on the windows, lightly spray the window with non-stick cooking spray. Then spray the snow on. The snow will wipe right off at the end of the holidays. And all you need to do is clean up the glass afterwards. It's so quick and easy and simple, and you won't be scraping spray snow off the window after the holiday. Now let's talk about your Christmas tree too, because a lot of people will be bringing their trees in the house and decorating for Thanksgiving even. And before you bring the tree in the house, when it's still outside, spray it with fabric sizing or spray starch. This will help the needles adhere better. Put a plastic tablecloth under the tree stand to catch any spilled or leaking water. Nourish the tree with a tablespoon of maple syrup in the water, or add 2 ounces of antibacterial mouthwash to keep the water fresh. Now, antibacterial mouthwash is something like Listerine. And just a quick toxic reminder, you know, lots of plants at the holidays are toxic to our animals. Things like holly, poinsettias, mistletoe can all be toxic to pets and small children. So be very careful how you display them. And maybe if you're thinking of getting something like poinsettias or lilies, which can also be toxic, look them up and find out how toxic they are and how best to display them if you have animals. Now, let's quickly go ahead and talk about some carpet spotting, because at the holiday season, lots of spills happen. Now, my oops, I can't believe I spilled that spotter is club soda. You use it on any wet spill. Blot the area first, removing as much of the spill as you can. And then pour on the club soda and blot until you're seeing only a clean rag and no staining. Finally, stand on a folded heavy rag or a big pad of paper towels to absorb all the moisture you can. And why does club soda work? Because the carbonation will bubble up that stain so you can get at it, and the salts in it will keep it from staining. Now, remember, you can use shave cream as a spotter on carpet, and to do that, you're just going to put it on a damp rag, work it in, and then rinse it off with a damp rag and blot, blot, blot. Don't forget Wine Away red wine stain remover that we just talked about. It's great not only for red wine, but you can use it for punch, cranberry juice, red pop, black coffee, or tea. And that's Wine Away red wine stain remover. And keep a good carpet spotter on hand. The one I love is Spot Shot Instant Carpet Stain Remover. I've tried them all, and I really do think this is probably the best one around. It's great for all spills and spots. It works great on pet accidents, and it's available in a spray and in a regular pump spray, which is very nice to have. I like both of them, and I'll pick up any one I can find. Now, just so you know what you're looking for, it's Spot Shot Instant Carpet Stain Remover, bright blue can with an orange cap on it. And also, it's a wonderful, wonderful laundry spotter. So remember to pick some up before you get started with the holidays. Now, this is my mystery stain remover. Now, this is for those stains that you just can't get out. And this is the last thing you can try. And generally, it works pretty well. You're going to take 1/2 cup of hydrogen peroxide and 1 teaspoon of ammonia. You'll mix it together and spray it heavily or pour it on to the stain. Allow it to sit for 15 to 30 minutes and then blot with a damp cloth. Now, you might need to repeat it several times, and if you do, I like to blot it really well, let it dry some, and then retreat it again. So it's 1/2 cup hydrogen peroxide and 1 teaspoon of ammonia. Now, I want to take just a minute to say happy Thanksgiving to all of you. You know, we go around the table at Thanksgiving, and each of us talks about the things we are thankful for. And as the Queen of Clean, one of the things I am really, really thankful for is all of you, the people who listen to my podcast, my followers on social media, my fans over the years. I would not be the Queen of Clean without you. So thank you so much. And I wish every single one of you a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. It's so good to know that we can gather together this year, because isn't that what Thanksgiving is all about? Now, one last thing. If you have something that you would like me to talk about on the podcast, go to ask@queenofclean.com. That's ask@queenofclean.com and tell me what you would like to hear me address and talk about. It has been my pleasure to talk with you over these past months with my new podcast, and I look forward to getting together with you throughout the holidays to help you with your dirty little problems. Believe me, with the Queen of Clean, you're going to dive deep into dirt. Thanks for talking dirty with the Queen of Clean.